In Virtus we have 3 competition classes, and competition classes are for making sure that people compete against people who've got a similar level of impairment or the same sort of impairment. So it's trying to make sure that people are competing on a level playing field and they're not competing against people who are much less impaired than themselves. So our 3 classes in Virtus are II1, which is for people with intellectual disabilities, and then II2, which again is for athletes with intellectual disabilities, but for those people who've got additional significant impairments. And our recent new class is II3, which is for those athletes with autism. This, for the first time, will be a full medal event in the Vichy Global Games this summer. In terms of II2, when we say some athletes have more significant impairments, it's very common for people with intellectual disabilities to have additional health problems or sensory problems. This might be a product of the particular chromosomal type of impairment that they have, for example, Down syndrome, but it might also be just part of their characteristics and how they've developed. So what we're talking about here are things like respiratory problems, cardiac problems, muscle tone issues, or sensory issues such as visual impairments or hearing impairments. So it's very common for people with intellectual disabilities to have quite a range of impairments as well. Many of the athletes who will be competing in II2 will have Down syndrome. This is not a Down syndrome class, but it means that those people with Down syndrome can compete in II2 because they have additional significant impairments. Often with Down syndrome, you might find that the athlete has cardiac issues or respiratory issues, flexibility, all sorts of other physical or sensory issues. II3 is our latest competition class, and that's for athletes with autism. Autism is a neurological condition or difference that means that those people are affected in a variety of ways and have different characteristics that affect how they function, how they think about things, and how they interact with other people. It's a spectrum or a continuum, so some people will be very mildly affected, other people will be quite strongly affected. For some people, this may well impact upon their ability to play sports and to compete in sport. For others, this will have no impact, or indeed it might even have positive impacts. So we do see, and we are very pleased to see, athletes with autism competing in mainstream sport right up to the Paralympic level. However, for some people, it does impact upon them a little bit more strongly. And for them, we wanted to find an opportunity or increase the opportunities for them to compete with other people who find it equally challenging.